Watching earnings up 27% year to date. Is it frothy? Is it worth it?
Well, I guess investors are willing to pay for it. So who's to say, right? It is one of the strongest performers in the tech sector and in the broader market. I think it's interesting because investors seem to be looking forward to better times ahead, because when you look at Apple's results over the last couple of quarters, they actually seem to be losing a bit of their punch on traditional earnings and revenues. If we look at Apple's share of the index, for example, it actually peaked several years ago. It's been on a comeback so far this year as investors have piled back into the stock. But I think the company has a lot to prove with earnings, frankly, going forward.
Now, I want to take our audience into the Bloomberg here and show a 10-year chart. Just how heavily weighted Apple is within the NASDAQ. I mean, it is such a massive company, and any small move can have such a big impact on the markets. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, within the S&P 500, it's by far the largest stock. It also holds the most cash. It has the largest earnings share. So from a number of angles, when Apple moves, the market moves. We saw that a little bit today, but luckily for us in the S&P 500, it's a bit more diversified. NASDAQ is a tech index, right? You've got some biotechs in there and a few tech light names, but it is a tech index. If you look at the S&P 500, tech is a big part of the index, but it's not the entire index. So it does tend to move the broader markets, but a little less so when you look at a more diversified index like the S&P.
Apple stock moves on average 4.7% a day after earnings. What are you expecting?
Yeah, who's to say where it moves on any single day? But what I can say is that tech stocks so far this earnings season, there's one thing that stands out, and that is tech stocks that guided lower on sales have been punished by the market. So the fact that Apple missed on revenues and they guided revenue expectations a bit lower could be a little bit troublesome for the stock tomorrow. Otherwise, I think investors, frankly, are looking through this earnings season and looking for better times ahead.
Let's talk about the rest of the earnings season. We've got Facebook and Tesla on this week, two companies that also, a lot of exuberance around them. What are you watching?
It's more tech. I mean, it's tech, right?
Tesla's the most valuable car maker in America now.
It is. And considering what happened with auto sales earlier today and what happened with first quarter auto sales in the GDP report last week, it's interesting to see that Tesla's doing as well as they are relative to the rest of the auto industry. And I think it's a tech play. Frankly, you've got this sort of uptrend for all tech companies across the index, and the rest of the index has more skittish performance, in particular that auto sector. So I would lump Tesla in with the techs. Pressure is on the company to guide for better expectations going forward.
All right.